Welcome back, it's Monday and there's a cheeky little reveal here. There's something odd happened, which was that the Warhammer Day miniature that I think was going to be shown off on the 5th of October when they're next doing their next Warhammer preview online, it seemed to show up randomly, out of the blue, in multiple places. So, we've got a reveal, whether they wanted to reveal it or not. It's here today, and it is the Infernal Chaos Sorcerer, Tzarketh, Bane of Law. And we're not going to be trying to look at it on the website like that, because the new website, it turns out, is terrible for recording pictures of new miniatures. Instead, let's have that. That's better. So this is Tzarketh. I've immediately forgotten the name of it. That's really bad. How is that even possible? Look, what is it again? Tzarketh. Alright, Tzarketh. We got the... Oh my god. This is a bad start. This is a rubbish start. I should probably start... No, we're going to stick with it. We're just going to stick with it, alright? It's Tzarketh, Bane of Law. And I really like it. It looks great. That's a very, very cool Chaos Sorcerer. We've got all the big... We've got all the big hits when it comes to sorcerers and chaos, right? We've got a gigantic staff. You gotta have a gigantic staff. Gigantic staff is a fantastic kind of indicator of office. Love a gigantic staff. There's also a nice chaos star on the top. Plus, you gotta have a skull in there. You've got to have at least one skull. Now, relatively, this model does not have that many skulls for a chaos model. We've got one on the staff. We've got one on the helmet. Admittedly, quite a big one on the helmet. But we do have my absolute favourite thing to have on any model that involves magic, and that is a big old book. I love a wizard, a sorcerer, a caster of any kind with a big book. You cannot go wrong with a tome of blasphemous knowledge, and that's exactly what we've got right here. I'm loving it. I also actually quite like the fire. The fire is nice. I might be being kind of swayed a bit by the colours that they've used. I think that's a really nice paint job they've done, and I really like the fact that the flame is going from this kind of like lime green to a sort of turquoise to purple. I like that a lot. It looks very otherworldly. It's very cool. There's a lovely mix of like knickknacks, trinkets, materials. Like there's a lot going on, but it doesn't feel cluttered. We've got chainmail, we've got robes, we've got a very nice cloak with a bit of fur over the top. Really like that. Big old sleeve there, but it looks like a fairly sensible sleeve. There's just a really nice mix of materials. The metal on the breastplate is really nicely done. I also appreciate the collection of different bones and icons, and it looks like there's a little vial of blood or something hanging off one of the ropes down there. Is super fun. Plus, we've got a magic scroll as well as a magic book. Come on. Tzarketh is locked and loaded, absolutely ready to go. I think we've got a little like cloth or leather pouch going on there as well. There's a lot happening, but it's not cluttered. I think the spacing is done really well. Plenty of detail without it being muddled is, I mean, for me, it's what you want, especially from a magic user. Now, I will say the helmet I think is going to divide opinions. I think that's gonna be one of those things where you either really like it or really hate it. I like it. There is a little bit of a cartoony look about the skull, but I'm finding myself not minding it that much because of how serious and, I don't know, just how cool the helmet is underneath the skull. Plus, the horns are kind of making it look more demonic than human, which makes it feel a bit less, like... It does feel a little bit cartoony, but not enough that it's like bothering me. The helmet with that vertical slit down the middle looks really good. The fact that it completely hides all facial features as well makes it look really sinister. I really don't think you can go wrong with a good pair of horns on a Chaos model. I don't think every Chaos model needs a good pair of horns, but I appreciate them once they're there. Plus, I think as well, something that might make the helm look a little bit more cohesive with the rest of the model, like in terms of the skull over the top of it, is it's been picked out in very like clean white compared to other bone on the model. So if you look at like, it looks like there's, is that a femur? Is there just like a femur hanging off the, whatever part of the body that is? It's been a while since I've extracted someone's femur, so I can't remember what it looks like. I've never done, you know that I've never done that, but for some reason I feel like I need to clarify that that's not happened, just in case, someone out there already had the worst possible opinion of me and thought me potentially to be some sort of murderer, but I haven't actually removed someone's femur yet. But if you look at the bird skull, and then there's a little talon, and then there's whatever that bone is, and then there's a skull on the staff, it's kind of aged and weathered and yellowed, whereas the helmet is quite I mean, it's quite pure white compared to that. It's a lot brighter. I think if it was like toned down and it was made a bit more weathered and a bit older looking, that would actually help it blend in a bit more. And I think probably it would make the skull section a little bit less cartoony. That's my gut sort of feeling anyway. We do have a back view where we can see even more little trinkets, which I really like. Also, oh, he's just got a sword as well. Oh, that's cool. So the hilt is by the... Oh, is the hilt by the scroll? Yeah, it is. I missed that. Ooh, okay. That's just a nice bit of extra added detail there, because you get that nice fold in the cloak where it's resting over the scabbard, like where it's got caught. I like that a lot. That's fun. Got a few more like runic things around the cloak itself, plus a dead rat. Why? Why a whole dead rat? I don't know. Well, is it a whole dead rat? I can only see one leg, so potentially it's potentially that rat had a bad time before it died. But that is a really nice cloak. That is a great cloak. I like that cloak. From the back, the fur is maybe a bit thick in places, but the actual kind of the shape of the cloak itself is really nice. The folds are really cool. It is worn and battered, but not excessively so. I do appreciate as well the way that they've highlighted that cloak with a bit of like sort of greeny blue, but they haven't done the same highlighting on the robe underneath, which like it just helps to differentiate which bit is which. I think that's quite a smart choice. I think you could totally do all of the cloth the same way and it would look really good, but I kind of like the fact they didn't do that here, intentionally or not, because it kind of gives more of a like definition to what you're looking at when it comes to the separation between the robe and the cloak itself. The gloves also look pretty good from the back. The way the fire is almost like dripping down the back of the book is cool, plus the spine having that metal reinforcement, that's a really nice touch as well. You know what, I'm really liking this one. This is a fun little model. Lots of nice little touches, really nice overall composition. I really think the only thing that could maybe improve it is just getting a bit of weathering on that skull on the helm, and you're good to go. So there you go. I have no idea whether they actually wanted to reveal that today, but revealed it has been, and it's also a nice reminder that on the 5th of October there's going to be a Warhammer Day preview, which we'll be streaming right here. It's not at 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, thank the Lord. Fed up of getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, especially when you consider the last thing that was at like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever it was like the roadmap preview. I mean, I felt betrayed waking up, like, in the middle of the night for that. I'm not going to lie. This one, though, I've got high hopes for. Well, higher hopes. It's hard not to have higher hopes than the last one, but I am looking forward to seeing what they do with it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of Tzarketh, Bane of Law. I had to double check the name again. I think my brain might be falling out my ears. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of them in the comments down below. And I will see you later on tonight for a cheeky stream at 8 o'clock UK time. I'll see you then.